Life for women in North Korea is disturbing, especially for those in the military. Under Kim Jong Un's harsh laws, the inhumane hardships female soldiers face are often unknown to the outside world. From beauty standards to the notorious pleasure squads, here are 15 shocking truths about women in the North Korean army. 15. The horrific truth about pleasure squads. One of the most chilling aspects of military life for North Korean women is the threat of being chosen for Kim Jong Un's pleasure squads. This infamous practice, which dates back to Kim Il-sung, consists of groups of young women selected to entertain and serve the regime's elite in various capacities. Women in these squads are divided into 3 groups. The Satisfaction Team serves high-ranking officials directly, the Happiness Team provides massages, and a 3rd group performs musical and dance acts. These women are isolated from the world, and service can last up to a decade. Afterward, they are often given arranged marriages to military personnel as a form of reward for their dedication. This practice showcases the brutal control the regime has over its people, subjecting women to an institution rooted in power dynamics and dehumanization. 14. Unbearable living conditions. Living conditions for female soldiers are deplorable, with many residing in cramped barracks where basic amenities are scarce. Mattresses are made from rice hulls that absorb moisture, becoming increasingly uncomfortable over time. Female soldiers lack consistent access to electricity and clean water, leading to a daily life filled with discomfort and struggle. These dire conditions, with limited facilities and resources, paint a harsh picture of the sacrifices these women make in their bid to serve and survive. 13. Lack of sanitary supplies. Due to severe shortages, basic hygiene products are a rare commodity. Until 2015, female soldiers had no access to proper sanitary products, resorting instead to using bandages. Combined with inadequate nutrition and poor healthcare, this lack of access to basic feminine hygiene supplies has detrimental effects on the health and morale of these women. Such neglect underscores the regime's lack of care for the well-being of its soldiers. 12. Cold showers with poor sanitation. Bathing facilities are rudimentary at best, with female soldiers often made to use cold water from hoses. These showers are unheated, making cleanliness a painful experience, especially in North Korea's harsh winters. Worse yet, plumbing issues lead to frequent encounters with creatures like frogs or snakes that slip through pipes, adding an element of fear and discomfort to an already miserable daily routine. 11. Why reporting a feels impossible. The rigid hierarchy within the North Korean military makes it nearly impossible for women to report mistreatment or abuse without fear of repercussions. Female soldiers who face discrimination or assault often feel they have no choice but to remain silent, fearing backlash or being ostracized. This silence perpetuates a culture where abuse goes unchecked, with many women enduring difficult situations in silence to avoid jeopardizing their future prospects. 10. Repressive gender-based tasks and expectations. In addition to regular military duties, women in the North Korean army are burdened with domestic responsibilities. Known as cooking pot lid drivers, female soldiers are expected to cook, clean, and take on other domestic tasks for their units after a full day of physically demanding labor. Unlike their male counterparts, these women must fulfill traditional roles, reflecting a deeply embedded gender hierarchy that permeates even the rigid military system. This added workload illustrates the dual burdens these women carry. They are both soldiers and caretakers, often with little to no recognition for the additional labor they provide. 9. Physical and mental resilience tests. The regime subjects female soldiers to extreme physical endurance tests aimed at reinforcing mental resilience. These grueling exercises include laps in freezing conditions, lengthy marches with heavy gear, and even bizarre practices like immersing hands in ice water and placing them on metal surfaces. Such activities are designed to build mental fortitude, but in reality, they often push soldiers beyond reasonable limits, disregarding their physical and mental health. These extreme training measures reveal a brutal focus on loyalty and resilience, with little regard for the human cost. 8. The hidden struggles of construction brigades. Many women from less privileged backgrounds are assigned to labor-intensive construction brigades. Here they undertake physically demanding tasks such as hauling heavy materials, working on infrastructure projects, and performing hazardous jobs under harsh conditions. These assignments reflect a disregard for the safety and well-being of female soldiers, with the regime valuing labor output over individual welfare. Women assigned to these brigades often find themselves exposed to greater physical risks and increased hardship, further intensifying their already difficult lives. 7. Marriage under orders, state control. After completing their mandatory military service, many women in North Korea encounter a different form of control: state-arranged marriages. These unions are typically orchestrated by the regime, pairing women with men deemed politically loyal. The intent is clear: to ensure that loyalty and ideological purity are maintained within family units. In this context, marriage is not a celebration of love or personal choice, but rather a strategic maneuver designed to reinforce allegiance to the regime. This practice highlights the extreme level of state interference in the most intimate aspects of life. Instead of allowing individuals to form connections based on personal feelings, the regime views marriage as a tool for political stability and social order. Women are often to accept partners chosen for them, stripping away their agency and autonomy. Additionally, these state-managed marriages serve to entrench the regime's ideology within the family structure, as children born from these unions are raised in an environment steeped in loyalty to the state. This creates a cycle of compliance, where the next generation is conditioned to accept the regime's values without question. Thus, the imposition of arranged marriages is yet another mechanism through which North Korean women are compelled to surrender their personal freedoms, reinforcing the authoritarian grip of the regime on their lives and futures. 6. Propaganda of gender equality. North Korea's regime heavily promotes an image of gender equality, especially in its portrayal of female soldiers. State-run media showcases women marching alongside men, weapon in hand, symbolizing equality and empowerment. However, this carefully constructed image contrasts starkly with the testimonies of defectors who report discrimination and a lack of recognition for female soldiers. The government's propaganda around empowerment serves to mask the true hardships that women face in the military and reinforces the state's narrative of patriotism over reality. 5. Height and appearance restrictions. In an attempt to maintain control over personal characteristics, the regime imposes height and appearance restrictions for women, especially those in the pleasure squads. Women shorter than a certain height are not eligible for these squads, a restriction reportedly linked to the leader's stature. This kind of superficial requirement underscores the regime's trivial control over individual identity, where even physical traits are deemed relevant to a soldier's role, reducing individuals to arbitrary criteria. 4. Control over career choices and job. In North Korea, career choices are dictated by the state, with women given limited or no autonomy over their futures. For women, mandatory military service offers limited access to benefits, such as increased rations and job prospects. Once they complete their service, many women still face government-controlled job assignments, typically in fields the state prioritizes. This system effectively traps individuals in specific roles and stifles ambition, innovation, and personal growth. 3. Limited access to food. The diet for female soldiers in North Korea is insufficient and imbalanced, with rations typically consisting of rice, cabbage soup, and radishes. Nutritional deficiencies are widespread, and female soldiers often suffer from malnutrition, weakening them physically and making it more difficult to endure the military's demanding lifestyle. These food shortages highlight the regime's prioritization of loyalty and productivity over the health of its soldiers, leaving female service members to struggle with the physical toll of their lifestyle. 2. 7 years of service. For women aged 17 and older, North Korea mandates a 7-year term of military service. This policy was implemented in response to a declining population and a need for increased military manpower, burdening young women with long, grueling years of service. Many of these years are marked by hardship, with few opportunities beyond service. This extended obligation reflects the regime's exploitative approach to manpower, especially given that the service period for men is up to 11 years. Female soldiers, therefore, find themselves trapped in a system where they must sacrifice nearly a decade of their lives to mandatory service. 1. Beauty bound. A shocking restriction, personal expression, including appearance and fashion choices, is strictly regulated in North Korea. For women, beauty products are limited, and choices like red lipstick are outright banned as they are considered too daring for the regime's conservative values. This suppression extends to every part of life, with the government even producing state-approved beauty products to maintain control over appearance standards. North Korean women navigate an intricate balance between limited personal expression and strict government-imposed standards, reflecting the state's need to maintain control over even minor aspects of individual identity. Basically, in the North Korean military, female soldiers face relentless control and harsh conditions, where even minor infractions can lead to collective punishments, intensifying a constant atmosphere of fear. Personal spaces like their barracks are regulated with displays of leader portraits, and soldiers are incentivized to join the Korean Workers' Party through promises of better rations. Many women are driven to military service not for empowerment, but to escape poverty, as conscription increased after the 1990s famine to counter population decline. North Korean propaganda uses female soldiers to project an image of gender equality and patriotism, masking the stark reality. Women endure grueling tasks, limited personal freedoms, and are ultimately tools of the regime's authoritarian control. As we uncover the harrowing realities faced by women in the North Korean military, it's clear their lives are marked by a chilling lack of freedom and extreme demands. From participation in pleasure squads to state-arranged marriages and grueling labor, these female soldiers endure relentless hardships under a regime that values loyalty over their well-being. While the North Korean government projects an image of gender equality, the truth reveals and exploitation. Yet, despite these challenges, the resilience and strength of these women shine through. By shedding light on these tragic stories, we gain a deeper understanding of their sacrifices. What are your thoughts on this? Share in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening content from Adventure Tales.